Hello everyone, welcome back to English Mania. This is Priyanka Arun with another lesson on English literature. Today let's discuss the Renaissance period of English literature. Before going to the details, those who are watching my channel for the first time, please subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell icon. And also, if you want to suggest anything, please comment. Now let's see the Renaissance period in detail. It is a period between 1500 to 1660. And Renaissance, the word means rebirth. And most of the critics, they use the term early modern period to denote the Renaissance period. Renaissance, it began in Italy, especially in art and architecture in the 15th century. As England became the most powerful nation in Europe in the late 16th century, new worlds were discovered and new ways of seeing and thinking developed. Columbus discovered America in 1492. Copernicus and Galileo made important discoveries about the stars and planets. Ferdinand Magellan sailed all around the world. The English Renaissance was a cultural and artistic movement in England dating from the late 15th century to the early 17th century. And the Renaissance period is divided into four ages like the Elizabethan age, the Jacobean age, the Caroline age, and the Commonwealth period. Now let's go into details of each of the ages. The Elizabethan age 1558 to 1603. It was the golden age of English drama, and Elizabethan England was often known as the nest of singing birds because the age witnessed the flowering of poetry, music, and literature. Queen Elizabeth was a great patron of literature, and the era was most famous for theatre because the great playwright Shakespeare was an Elizabethan. It was an age of exploration and expansion abroad. The Protestant Reformation became more acceptable to the people, most certainly after the Spanish Armada was repelled. The Petrarchan sonnet was imported and modified by Shakespeare, which was often known as Shakespearean sonnet, and the genre of tragicomedy was born. Now let's see the key figures of Elizabethan age. Christopher Marlowe, who was famous for his mighty line and who made English language rich with his tragedies. Then Francis Bacon, who is the father of English essays and who was famous for his epigrammatic style. And Edmund Spenser, famous for his work Fairy Queen and Shepherd's Calendar. Then Sir Walter Raleigh, a favorite of Queen Elizabeth and who was an adventurer and writer. Then William Shakespeare, who needs no introduction, the greatest playwright ever. Now let's see the Jacobean age, 1603 to 1625. It was named after the reign of King James I, the Latin Jacobus. The literature of Jacobean period was often dark in mood. Questioning the stability of social order, some of William Shakespeare's greatest tragedies may date from the beginning of the period, and other dramatists including John Webster were often preoccupied with the problem of evil. The era's comedy included the acid satire of Ben Jonson and the varied works of Francis Beaumont and John Fletcher. Jacobean poetry included the graceful verses of Johnson and the Cavalier poets who supported the king, and also the intellectual complexity of the metaphysical poetry by John Donne and other metaphysical poets. In prose, writers such as Francis Bacon and Robert Burton showed a new toughness and flexibility of style. The era's monumental prose achievement was the King James Version of the Bible, which was appeared in the year 1611. The Caroline age is named after Charles I, the Latin Carolus. The age of Caroline is an age of poetry of three kinds or schools: the metaphysical, the Cavalier, and the Puritan school. The entire period was marked by civil war, which divided the people into two sections, one loyal to the king and the other opposed to him. The crisis began when James I, who had reclaimed the right of royalty from an act of parliament, he gave too much importance to the divine right and began to ignore the parliament. The Puritans, who had become a powerful force in the social life of the age, began the movement for social and constitutional reforms. The age witnessed the rise of Puritanism. The Puritan movement may be regarded as a second and Renaissance, a rebirth of the moral nature of man following the first Renaissance. Puritanism became a political as well as a moral and religious force. Puritanism had two chief objects. The first was personal righteousness and the second was civil liberty. In other words, it aimed to make men honest and to make them free. The age also witnessed the decay of drama. The influence of Puritanism was detrimental to the growth of drama. The closing of the theatres in 1642 gave a final jolt to the development of drama. The actual dramatic work of this period was very small and insignificant, and the notable figures of the age were John Milton, Robert Burton, and George Herbert. The Commonwealth period. The period between the end of the English Civil War and the restoration of the Stuart monarchy. The Commonwealth was the political structure during the period from 1649 to 1660, when England and Wales, later along with Ireland and Scotland, were governed as a republic after the end of the Second English Civil War and the trial and execution of Charles I. The republic's existence was declared through an act declaring England to be a Commonwealth. It was a period with no monarch. Oliver Cromwell, a Puritan, led the parliament who ruled the nation, and the public theatres were closed for nearly 2 decades. And the prominent figures of this period were John Milton, Thomas Hobbes, Thomas Fuller, Abraham Cowley, and Andrew Marvell. Thank you for watching. See you with another video. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and hit like if you like the video and share with your friends. Goodbye.